guys, good morning. Today is Sunday, the 22nd of November. Yesterday I made an advent calendar for the kids. Well, I made a new one. We have three, they have three, they each have one. I'm gonna post it in this video in a bit. And I'm sorry, there will be some non-weight loss journey related stuff because it really helps me stay on track. Like videoing, editing, like I'm just sitting here waiting for it to be Monday so I can do my weigh-in video. And I'm just gonna do a few more during the week. So like I understand if that's not what you want to see, just skip by it, but it helps keep me on track, so I'm gonna do it. But I wanted to talk about something that Diana over at Adventures of Diana asked me. She saw the video, I'll put the clip on here, from our dinner, and she asked me if we eat different food. And that particular, like, I'm on a 12 to 1400 calorie a day diet. So I try to keep I have 2 meals a day at 500 calories, so then I have another 200 for something that I want, like rice cakes or a little piece of chocolate or something. And that day, the kids love steak, and my husband too. I mean, I love steak too, but you don't get a lot of steak for your calories. Like I looked at the calories and I'm like, I'll get like a tiny little piece for 350 calories, and then like one potato. That's not gonna fill me. I'm not gonna feel satisfied. So I got out one of my pre-made boxes I had in the freezer that was 500 calories, like chicken and rice and stuff. So yes, that day we did it differently. In the past, I've been very adamant about keeping the kids out of the loop. Like I don't want them to hear words like diet, calories, carbs, weight. Like they're so little. And I remember one time when we were in Florida still, this is maybe 3-4 years ago, I was on, you know, some kind of keto or something, and my husband mentioned it at the table. He said something, diet, you know, diet, mom's on a diet or something like that. And I kind of kicked him, and then afterwards I'm like, I don't want you talking about that in front of the kids. And he's like, why? Are you ashamed? I'm like, no, I'm not ashamed. I just don't want them, like at the time they were maybe 3, 4, and 6, or 3, 5, and 6. I'm like, I don't want words like diet and calories, and I don't want that to, you know, I don't even want them to think about that at that age. They're gonna have a lifetime full of, especially my daughter, I'm sure, you know, she'll have a lifetime of minding her calories, her intake, and the boys too. And I'm like, I don't want that at our home. So this time around, they are older. They're 7, almost 9 and 10, and it's been a little harder to, you know, do it under the radar this time. So I've kind of briefly explained, you know, mommy wants to be a little healthier, eat less crap. So I'm just trying to monitor what I eat. So now they're kind of talking about it, which I don't like. You know, they're like, oh, calories. I'm like, you guys don't have to worry about it. I said, you're growing, you do judo 3 times a week, you're active at school, you're always outside. You do not need to worry. Like, you burn a lot of calories, you know. And on that same topic, I've never wanted to force them to finish their plates. They go up and down in growth spurts, they eat different amounts. They always have to eat what we eat. Like that was the one fight that I decided to pick when I had the kids. I'm like, I'm not gonna have picky eaters. They eat what we have, or they don't eat. And then when they come back and they're hungry, I'll get it out of the fridge again. I'll just, you know, now they're big enough. But when they were little, I would just put it in the fridge, wrap it, and when they came, you know, half hour later, I'm hungry. Here you go. Here's your dinner again. So they knew that was, you know, there was no sandwiches or anything. But now, I got lost what the track was. Oh yeah, being full. Like I don't force, because I lost the sense of satisfaction or feeling full years ago. I just eat until it's past, you know, what I should eat. Like I eat because it's good, and I don't feel that I'm full. So I'm super adamant about not ruining their own, you know, feeling of feeling full, because that's so healthy and they need to keep that. But yes, so to answer your question, I do try to eat the same as the rest of the family, because I do eat regular food that we eat. I just sometimes substitute for lighter, you know, if I use whipping cream for a sauce, I'll use a lighter version for myself. Problem is I don't hate counting calories. It's kind of fun, but it's time consuming. And I'm a kind of saucy, stewy kind of person. So when you make a whole batch, if you make it for the whole family, it's kind of hard to pick out, even if you know the calories for the whole thing, it's kind of hard to pick out the right amount for yourself. You could weigh it, but you might still get more of, you know, the meat than the veggies or whatever. So I like to make 2 batches, one for me, one for them, plus then I also have lunch boxes for, you know, 6 to 8 days. It does make it easier on days that we're like in a rush, you know, we have judo or we had something went wrong, we need to eat, to have those in the freezer is like, that's what keeps me on track. So right now, because when I make a batch, when I count up a whole batch, I just want it, I want to make a few meals so I don't have to count every day. So on occasion, like more than I would like, I do eat different food in them right now because I do have leftovers for longer. But it's like I'll make spaghetti and meat sauce. I'll make one for them, one for me, and I'll split it up into boxes, and we'll have the same dinner that day. There might be leftovers, so they might have it the next day again with me, but then they might be on to steak or something. Like, I don't want to limit their life, okay? They're not on a weight loss journey. So if they want to have pizza once a month, they can, and I'll have one of my boxes. If they want to have waffles because, you know, it's someone's birthday, they can have that, and I'll have a box. So that's basically where we're at. I'm trying. My goal is to eat the same thing as them, but sometimes I don't. But we always sit down together at 6 o'clock for dinner. So that was my little weight talk for today. Now I'm gonna show you the advent calendar, and this was recorded yesterday, but I'm gonna clip it in here. Super happy they all got wrapped, and now it's 1:30, so in about an hour we have some sun today and some clouds. It could be a beautiful sunset, so I'm gonna drive up to the spot at the lake that I found. It's like 20 minutes away, and you know, I'm just gonna hope that I might have to do a time lapse because it looks like it's a little windy out there. I don't know if I can put the drone up, but I'll bring the drone, I'll bring the camera, and we'll see what I get. Until tomorrow, because tomorrow's weigh-in. Yay! See you guys later. Now, don't forget to subscribe, like my comment, like my video, ring the bell, do all those things, please. I want to get to 50. That would make my day. Hey guys! Today I am gonna make a new advent calendar for the kids. I have one for each of them, and then when we lived in the US I had made a red tree, but it kind of didn't make it in the move, so I have to make a new one. Last year I had like a white ladder, but it didn't really work out, like hanging everything. So I went out to the barn, whatever, the other building, chopped up some wood in different lengths, and I'm gonna kind of stagger them like this, make it look like a tree. So I'm gonna stain these to make them like a little, you know, farm house, and then use burlap to kind of attach them. We'll see how it works out. This is the only time I use tea, is when oh my god, they're like out of their package. This is the best thing since sliced bread. I thought I'd have to open all the packages like I normally do. I love this. Yeah, I stained my wood to make it look, you know, farmhouse or old, with black tea and then a solution with like vinegar and steel wool. And I have a really old one that I made over a year ago. It's looking pretty bad. I'll see if I can use it. If not, it's gonna suck, because then I have to make a new one, and it takes like a couple of days for the two to react. So you use the tea to bring out some tannin or something, whatever it's called, in the wood. Oh, maybe I'm going a little crazy now. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, my tea's done, and I'm just gonna apply this is just black tea, and I'm just gonna apply it. All right, they've all been painted. So what happens is the black tea brings out the tannin in the wood or something, and then that reacts with my steel wool vinegar solution. The hot air balloon I made when my last one was born, so when he was a year, because I remember I used to put the little Nilla cookies, you know, the wafers. Wrong cookies. That's what he would get, and some toys, because he was too little to, you know, eat candy or anything, but he wanted what his siblings had. This one was the first one I made. And then in the US I had like a red tree. I'll put a picture up at some point of that. But this is the one that I made today. You can barely see it because yeah, I like how it turned out. It's pretty simple. So now I have to get wrapping. I gotta wrap 75 presents or things. There's some items, some toys, some coins for our chore chart, and of course some candy. Do you guys have any advent calendars or anything you do? Comment down below. I want to hear all about it. And let's get wrapping. So I'll show a little bit of what I wrap. I have all of my Hobby Lobby wrapping paper that I brought. I love Hobby Lobby paper, and I always bought like a bunch at 90% off after Christmas. Anyways, so there's some items, you know, like when I can find stuff. Like this is one of those spiky. I found like a giant eraser, some, you know, little sticky memo pad. I got this, which is a kind of little notebook that closes with the pen. There's a little more candy than I'd like. They don't normally eat candy other than Saturdays, but December is kind of an exception. Normally I find more like little items to put in, but since, you know, Corona, I haven't been out much, so it is what it is this year. I'm also going to put some of our coins in. I don't know if it'll focus. No, it's too close. There's like 5, 1, 3, 10, and 20 value. And this is what our chore chart our home is based on. And I'll show you the chore chart one day, but with these coins, they can buy things that they can't normally get any other way, like screen time on a weekday. It's like 10 coins. Stay up an extra hour at night, pick dinner, get to have dessert, an hour of YouTube, stuff like that. It has different prices, and the only way they can normally acquire these is through chores that they pick. They have one chore a week, like, you know, besides getting dressed and all that, but they sweep the stairs once a week. That's included in their allowance. But if they want to make more coins, they can do chores, like take the garbage out, walk the dog, you know, stuff that they can do for their age. And it's been working really well, but I'm planning on putting a few of them in their advent calendar as well. 3:30 in the morning, but I'm done.